And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years. So Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you. Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
still
a corporation. I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself.
And welcome back, everyone. Today's case is another chaotic sovereign, citizen courtroom moment, and it honestly gets wild fast. This guy is brought in over embezzling $60,000, which already sounds serious. But what's even crazier is that he still walks and acting like the law doesn't apply to him at all. The judge handling this case is sharp, confident, and clearly not in the mood for games. Every time he tries to throw out his made-up legal theories, she shuts them down with calm authority and just enough sarcasm to make it clear she's heard it all before. You can tell she's dealt with these types many times because she has zero tolerance for fake jargon and imaginary rules pulled straight from the internet. It really makes you wonder whether people like this should even be allowed to represent themselves when they clearly don't understand how the legal system works. Drop your thoughts and let's get into it.
Would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you. So
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
For anyone confused about what this guy keeps repeating, the whole all caps name argument is straight out of the sovereign citizen playbook. The idea is that because names appear in capital letters on official documents like birth certificates, and people don't usually write their names that way in everyday life, they somehow believe that creates a separate legal identity the court has no authority over. It sounds ridiculous, and honestly, it is. The first time you hear it, it's hard to believe people genuinely take it seriously. And if someone truly believes the court has no power over them, it raises an obvious question. Why even show up at all? The logic just doesn't hold up. Let me know what you think about this, and let's keep going.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger-Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case.
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you. We have budgets. The court system is not a profit generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected. People who are victims of crimes are protected. And that's why we have
But in
all
order
these.
for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim would
because
be the company. And the
you are
company,
charged.
I can't face. the
Actually,
company.
just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count 1 with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years. You're charged in count 2 with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count 1, that carries a maximum penalty.
Now, this guy suddenly wants a jury trial after everything he just said, which makes the situation even more unbelievable. It almost feels like he's asking for the harshest possible outcome, because after listening to all that sovereign citizen nonsense, any jury is likely going to see right through it. It's strange how often they demand a jury the moment they realize the judge isn't buying into their claims of being above the law. Maybe they think there's a chance someone on the jury will share their beliefs and side with them. But realistically, that's extremely unlikely. At this point, it's hard to see how this strategy helps him at all. Do you think he has any real chance in front of a judge or jury? Share your thoughts, and let's continue.
Of up to 10 years in prison, and the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes,
They
they
can?
can. Yes, they
Okay.
can. So I have 189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes,
but
they
they're
can.
going-
Yes,
They're
you
going
can be
by
charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
for
legal.
corporations. They're for fictitious.
Still a crime. Still a
corporations.
crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why
Okay.
you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid. It's
Okay.
not legal.
Right.
So do you want to represent yourself or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm gonna set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for Mr. Musgrove?
So, what do you make of this entire situation? Because honestly, this goo, why seems completely disconnected from reality. It wouldn't be surprising if the judge decides to go as strict as possible, especially considering how much time was wasted on arguments that don't make sense. He went on and on without saying anything meaningful, like someone rambling endlessly with Ho. T.A. clear point. Sitting through it feels exhausting, especially if you've seen similar cases before. Even then, the all caps name argument still manages to stand out as one of the most baffling claims. Imagine walking into court thinking you've just made a powerful legal argument, while the judge is barely holding back a reaction. To be fair, the judge handled it with patience and kept things under control, and if it felt like the defendant was given a bit too much room to talk, at least it didn't turn into complete chaos. Let me know what you think about the case, and if you enjoy this kind of courtroom content, stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.